For years, many Rush fans wondered if anyone could ever step behind Neil Peart's drum kit. Even Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson weren't sure. When they began preparing for the 50-something tour, they knew finding the right drummer would be the biggest challenge of all. That search eventually led them to German drummer Anika Nilles. She arrived with an impressive reputation. But what happened during rehearsals caught Geddy completely off guard. At first, things felt unusual. Geddy later admitted that something seemed wrong when they started playing together, not because Anika lacked talent, but because Rush's music had always been built around a unique chemistry developed over decades with Neil Peart, poet blabbermouth.net. Then, as the rehearsals continued, everything changed. Instead of simply copying Neil's parts note for note, Anika began revealing something unexpected. Her technical ability was obvious, but it was her energy, work ethic, and musical instincts that started turning heads. Day by day, Geddy and Alex watched her grow more comfortable inside some of the most challenging music in rock history, Rio. By the end of those sessions, Geddy found himself shocked by something he never anticipated, and it had nothing to do with speed or technique. As rehearsals moved forward, Geddy Lee began noticing something that surprised him more than Anika Nilles' technical skill. Most drummers approaching Rush's catalog would focus on surviving the complex arrangements. Anika did that with ease. But what stood out was the incredible level of preparation she brought into every session. She arrived ready, focused, and eager to tackle every challenge the music presented. According to Geddy, her enthusiasm was contagious. While the band members occasionally felt their age during long rehearsals, Anika seemed to have endless energy. At one point, Geddy jokingly told her, "I can't keep up with you," a comment that reflected both admiration and amazement. What impressed him most was that Anika wasn't trying to become Neil Peart. She respected the original parts, but she also brought her own personality and feel to the music. That balance helped the songs feel alive, rather than frozen in time. For Geddy and Alex, this was a crucial realization. The project would never work if it became a simple tribute to the past. And then came the rehearsal that changed everything. By the middle of rehearsals, something remarkable began to happen. For days, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson had been listening carefully, measuring every song against decades of memories with Neil Peart. That comparison was almost impossible to avoid. After all, Neil's playing was woven into the identity of every classic Rush track. But around the fifth day of rehearsals, the atmosphere shifted. Geddy later recalled that, at first, something felt different, almost uncomfortable. Then Anika suddenly nailed it. The pieces started falling into place, and the music began to flow naturally. Instead of hearing a drummer trying to fit into Rush's legacy, Geddy and Alex heard a musician confidently contributing to it. That breakthrough wasn't about reproducing every drum fill perfectly. It was about trust. Anika had absorbed the material, understood the spirit of the songs, and found a way to connect with the band's musical language. For the first time, rehearsals stopped feeling like an experiment. They felt like a band. And once that happened, Geddy discovered another surprise. Anika's presence was changing not just the music, but the way he and Alex approached the entire project. Once the chemistry clicked, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson found themselves looking at familiar songs differently. For decades, Rush's music had been performed by the same three musicians. Certain arrangements, transitions, and performance habits had become second nature. But Anika Nilles came into the room without that history. She respected the material deeply, yet she wasn't bound by years of routine. That fresh perspective became one of her greatest strengths. As rehearsals continued, Anika asked questions, explored musical details, and approached songs with the curiosity of a fan and the discipline of a professional musician. Her enthusiasm encouraged Geddy and Alex to re-examine parts they had played countless times before. Instead of treating the music as a museum piece, the group started treating it as something living and evolving. For Geddy, this was both exciting and unexpected. He wasn't just revisiting old songs, he was rediscovering them. The energy in the rehearsal room became less about preserving the past and more about creating something meaningful in the present. And that led to perhaps the biggest surprise of all. The qualities that impressed Geddy most had very little to do with drumming technique. By this point, no one doubted Anika Nilles' musical abilities. Her timing, coordination, and command of complex rhythms had already impressed Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. But the qualities that earned their deepest respect went beyond the drum kit. What stood out was her attitude. Anika approached rehearsals with humility despite her world-class talent. She understood the enormous responsibility of performing music associated with Neil Peart, yet she never tried to make the spotlight about herself. Instead, her focus remained on serving the songs and helping the group sound its best. Geddy was also impressed by her willingness to work. Even after long rehearsal days, she remained engaged, positive, and eager to improve. That combination of confidence and humility helped create an atmosphere where everyone could relax and enjoy the process. Perhaps most importantly, Anika brought a sense of forward momentum. Rather than dwelling on what Rush had lost with Neil's passing, she helped the musicians focus on what was still possible. For Geddy, that shift in mindset became one of the most valuable gifts she brought to the project. In Batch 6, the conclusion, will reveal what shocked Geddy most about playing. In the end, the thing that shocked Geddy Lee most about playing with Anika Nilles wasn't her speed, precision, or ability to handle Rush's famously difficult music. It was how quickly she transformed the feeling of the room. When rehearsals began, there was an unavoidable sense of uncertainty. Geddy and Alex Lifeson were stepping into a new chapter without Neil Peart, a situation many fans once thought impossible. Naturally, there were doubts about whether the chemistry could ever feel right again. But Anika brought something that couldn't be measured with drum charts or metronomes: fresh energy, optimism, and a genuine love for making music. Her preparation earned their respect. Her talent earned their confidence, and her personality helped create an environment where new musical possibilities could emerge. By Geddy's own account, what initially felt wrong eventually felt completely natural. The breakthrough wasn't that Anika became another Neil Peart. It was that she didn't. She brought her own voice while honoring the legacy of the music, allowing Geddy and Alex to move forward without pretending the past could be recreated. And that may be the biggest lesson from this story. Sometimes the strongest tribute to a legend isn't finding someone who can replace them. It's finding someone who can respect what came before while helping everyone discover what comes next. For Geddy Lee, that unexpected discovery may have been the most surprising part of playing with Anika Nilles, and the reason this new chapter became possible at all.